Hello and welcome to round 2 of the British Drift Championship here at Drifltand. What an exciting week it's been so far. It's day 4 of the Drifltand Festival. It has been carnage, non-stop driving, crashes, tyres burned and so much fun had. Unfortunately, this week I'm not joined by my co-commentator, Mr. Mike Walton, and I do have my boss sitting beside me, so I'm on extra better behaviour this weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to welcome Mr. Mac Frost to the commentary booth.
Thanks very much, Mike. It's absolutely great to be here. We're very sad that Mike couldn't make it, but I'm very happy to fill in for this. So we've seen so much good driving over the weekend. Now, do you want to tell us who we've got in the judging panel?
Yeah, so look, our judges this weekend are the same as round 1. It is Mr. David Garvey, Mr. Gaz Taylor, and of course, the head judge, the phenomenal, the phenom, Mr. Kieran Hines.
The man himself.
The man himself. Absolutely a whopper of a track Kieran has put down this weekend. He's made 2 small little changes, Mac, that have upset the whole grid. People were saying this track was undrivable. Well, look, this is the line. Mac, do you want to run us through?
They're going to head down this wall at absolute full throttle. So they are looking just for a simple straight line initiation with a little dab of the handbrake. That's going to get them centered nice and close to the wall for clip 1. They're going to keep that throttle pinned down as they head towards clip 2. That'll pull them around in a natural arc. For clip 3, again, they want to see them nice and deep, and that is going to send them back to the inside of the track for clip number 4.
Yeah, once they come through clip 4, Mac, they're coming down the hill, they're carrying serious pace. The judges want them to use lock to screw off the speed rather than a handbrake. Heading into the only decel zone between 4 and 5, following that wide line through 5. A snappy transition as quick as possible in the centre section, putting it on that wide line, avoiding the teleporter that's on our video, Mac, and pushing it all the way out to the wall.
And we want to see them on that wall as they go across the line.
That's all we want to see in Drifltand, is cars on walls.
This is going to be an amazing layout. We have shaken it up, and these qualifying runs are going to look fantastic.
So, as you can see on your screen, this will be our qualifying order, and this will run in reverse championship order. So, most of the guys you can see maybe didn't attend the first round or that, have cars ready this time. I'm really excited there. Who on that list, Mac, jumps out with you?
Okay, so first of all, there is Ross Ogilvie on that list. He is the SDC champion. This place is his backyard. He is going to be one to watch.
And that bike can drive.
He can definitely drive.
I'm going to go with the Wonder Kid. He practically lives up here. He does all his training here. It's Mitch Gibbons. Man, he is on it. If that car does not let him down mechanically, he's going straight to a podium. I seen him come to Ireland and he shook a few heads in Ireland as well.
Yeah, absolutely. The same as at Foundation last year when he took the winner at Teesside. Mitch has just proved himself time and time again to be so consistent and such a good line driver.
Yeah. Nicky Davey has here in his brand new car. He's bought Stephen Fitzgerald's Pro Spec S15 and he's a completely new driver in it, Mac. He's unbelievable. I'm so excited to see that.
It's like he's been driving that thing for 10 years.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. And then here on page 2, your guy, Max Fleckney.
My boy, Toyota head, Max Fleckney. Max is killing it. Apparently he came to Drifltand a week after the first round, so the last 4 months he's just lived up here doing laps. He is killing it on the track, so I really hope Max can get that top step today.
Yeah, it's just been amazing for him and to see it. And then, of course, you can't forget Chrissy Nayland, round 1's winner. He is absolutely on fire this weekend.
Okay, so as we get the first few cars on the line, Mac, we get ready to go. We will be back in a few moments with the first car on the line.
Drifting can be the most demanding motorsport in the world. My name is Jun Ming. The high RPMs required to keep my tires spinning and rubber burning are brutal on engine oil. That's why Lucas Synthetic Oil Stabilizer was formulated for performance on the track and the highway. Lucas Synthetic Oil Stabilizer keeps my power on for split-second decisions, making every shift and turn count. When it comes to my engine and engine oil, I give it every advantage with Lucas Synthetic Oil Stabilizer.
Link ECU produce standalone engine management technology with a range of products that allow you to unleash the power of your engine. Acting as your car's brain, our ECUs control electronic fuel injection and ignition. A magnitude of sensor inputs and outputs ensure your engine exceeds your expectations. Built-in safety features guarantee engine protection, and data logs keep you informed on its performance. Smoke your tyres and not your engine with a world-leading Link ECU.
Tarmac Sports.
Hello and welcome back. So Mac, the long wait is over. The spring break is over. We're here for round two and we're back to competitive action. And the first car is just pulling to the line. Whoabouts is that?
So we are going to see Miles Moore, one of the local drivers, someone who knows Driftland very well, inside and out. He's going to be bringing the E46 Compact, the S54 M3 engine. Miles is sponsored by MCM Car Sales and Chassis Alignment, Matthew Morrissey Paintless Dent Removal, Number 8 Clothing, Brayhead Taxis, and Foz Sports Body Shop and Alloys.
Miles, all weekend since I literally landed at Driftland, has been on the same line. And it's A and perfect. Now, if I give this commentator's curse straight away to his first run, I'm going to feel so bad, because I even said to him this morning, I was like, man, you're killing it out there. I'm expecting a very high score to start off qualifying here, but I usually jinx people when I say that.
We know he's keen. In briefing this morning, he was asking Kieran Hines and saying, how much can I cut, how much can I jump to make sure I'm on the door in battle? So he is going to be going all out in qualifying.
Yeah. Well, as we see Miles leave the line, taking through our chicane, hitting no coals, thankfully. So Miles is going for the flick initiation bit early, gets to the B line, not as deep as he was, but he's out there now, Matt, pushing all the way out through the A line and C, puts away a lovely for the inner clip, keeping them wheels on the track, into the D-cell zone, small little dab of the handbrake to settle the car, but not too much. No, he could have been deeper there through that clip, maybe the nerves are getting to Miles, but he pulls it back on line, pushing out towards the one for finish. That's not bad, you know, it's not nice being the first driver. You have to sit there twiddling your thumbs away and you're the first person the grid and people shout at. You're the nervous, so Miles will be happy he got a score on the board, but I do think there's a better run in it.
Well, let's see if the judges agree with that, Mike. So, I mean, he looked great there at the end, making it out to the wall and doing it. He's very keen, so let's see what he's got.
Yeah. So we wait our judge's decision. Now, Mac, this is the part you get used to. Kieran Hines is not that good with technology. He's coming around. You know, we sent him off on a crash course. He's getting there, but it might take a minute or two. No,
and of course it's very important for the run for these judges to decide, because this is what is going to set the benchmark for everyone else to go against.
So for those at home looking at the live stream, we are not seeing what the judges see. They have their own system in the tower. So, like, you know, they could be looking at certain sections. Oh, no, there's a score in. And it's an 86 for Miles.
86, that's nice.
Not bad.
That's good. It's very, very technical, very precise.
Yeah, but there's definitely more. There's room for improvement. I've seen him do better.
I think it's that little bit of impact, and that's where some people with a slight little bit more power are able to make that difference to get the better score. So up next, we have got Matt Smith. Matt Smith coming all the way from Exeter in his E46 M3 S54. This one not a compact. Matt is sponsored by Volkskraft Exeter Limited, VW Group and Alignment Specialists, Hell Performance, Travel Executives, Airport Transfers and Chauffeuring.
Matt's been one of them drivers since Thursday night, has just been consistently on the track.
Yeah, it's great.
He's getting a lot of use out of them Zestino tyres, that's all I'd say.
Absolutely, and it's great to have him back after he missed round one. So off he goes from the line. He's heading down towards that wall. Let's see the initiation go there. It's just a little bit shallow, misses clip 2, makes his way out. I think it looks like he gets clip 3, falling back through to the inside and down into the D-cell at 5, where it looks like he's holding it together nicely as he comes back towards... Does he make that early transition? He's a tiny little bit late, but then he's pushing back out towards 7. Back round towards the wall, and is he going to make it there?
Yes, he does. That's not a bad run from Matt. And the one thing I will say that I really like, you know, that's exactly what the judges asked for. Don't use brakes in the D-cell zone. Use the lock. He kept a full pin through it on more angle and carried a lovely arc in that bottom section between 5 and 6.
It was unfortunate that he missed 2 there, but apart from that, that looked like a nice
It seems
run.
like he just initiated a small bit early. That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, he was just keen. He was going for it.
He was going. He's excited. He's like, I'm at BDC. Let's do it. So, as we await Matt's first score, what do you think?
I think it's going to be good. Oh, it's 68, so there is the penalty there for missing that, like we say, on the initiation as well. So
he did miss, he took out his own completely, started on the B line, but yeah, the second half was good. He needs to just work it around for the next run.
What Kieran's been saying in briefing is that it's really 1, 2, 3, that natural arc as they come through that sets them up for 4 for that inner clip, and that's where I think the penalty's been taken from there.
Next up, another returning driver. They'll make it to round 1.
Jack Mawhinney, another youngster from Ireland coming over. His E46 S54. He's been competing since he was just 7 years old, Mike. Jack is sponsored by Ian Milton Quirk, UPVC, CMG Windows and Doors, The Best Water, Ennis Glass Company, Limited Black Styling.
So as we see Jack leave the line, Jack is a well-capable driver, flicks it in very early out in the B-line, Matt, B-line 1, 2 and out to A for 3. He keeps it on the track without dropping the wheel. Comes lovely through the inner clip and now he's coming into the diesel zone. Will he slow down? A small little dab of the brake, but not in much, Jack, just to settle the car. Finally, it's into a snappy transition, pushing all the way wide. Look, this is what Kieran was saying, Mac. He wants you to come away from that line just between 7 and then push back out for 8 on the wall. Like, that's not a bad run by Jack Mawhinney.
Yeah, definitely. So since he last competed last year, they have got a brand new engine, brand new turbo, winter's diff. They have made some serious upgrades to this car, and it looks like he knew exactly how to use those out there to run a lovely line.
They're still going through some teething issues all weekend, but I was talking to Jack this morning. He's confident, he's getting there, and you know, he's a contender. We won't rule him out just yet.
We just see it time and time again with young drivers, just how quickly they can adapt, and they just start to get it dialed in, and round by round they just progress and get so much better. And we think, Jack, 89, what an incredible run.
Brilliant. Now he'd be happy with that, and it gives him that confidence to push harder in his next run, which
we could see
entertains us. That's what we want.
We could see something wild.
So, who's up next?
It's Marcus Ty.
I know this car.
So this is a very familiar car. This is Adam Simmons' Z4 LS3 build that now Marcus is the new owner. He got his shot to come here and compete this weekend from a top 8 finish in Drift League, one of our feeder series. He is going to be using this car as hard as he can. We've seen him in practice.
Well, look, yesterday Marcus came in. He dropped the wheel, just stayed committed, and had one of the biggest, no, actually not the biggest, sorry, Armis last year was one of the biggest offs I've seen in the first corner of Driftland. But he had a big enough off, luckily, to keep the car on 4 wheels. You would not think that car was crashed yesterday, Mac. It absolutely looks mint now. It's like the day he bought it. But we see Marcus coming down, straight line initiation, judges say he can do that, not as deep, and he just over-rotates.
Just overcuts it a little bit there on the entry.
He was shallow on initiation, so he had to pin it to try and get back out, and I think he felt he was going where he was yesterday, and no one wants to get it.
Definitely, like we say, that car came away clean for once. You know, he's got this one. He's got that little bit of information about that entry now, and for his next run, he'll be able to get it a bit more settled and hopefully stick that entry and stay out of that gravel
He's
trap.
doing the right thing now in the second half of this run. Like, even though it is a 0 because he spun in the first corner, he's using his time on the track to feel it out. So when he goes for his second run, he's hopefully an idea of what's about to happen.
Absolutely. Every bit of information these guys can get about the conditions, the track surface, you know, they need to use that to their advantage while they're out there.
100%.
So this is going to be a 0 for Marcus. But let's see on his second run.
Hopefully,
he's going to do.
I'm just putting it out there. We all know that car is capable.
Absolutely.
That car is capable. So, yeah, just to confirm, it's a 0 for Marcus, which puts him in 4th position. Not bad.
Yeah, so next up, we are going to see...
I don't know, we're waiting for the camera to change back.
Here we go. Who have we got? There we are. So Joe Smith, another driver to come through from Drift League, trying to gain his license this weekend while he's here in his S13 build. So Joe is, brand new to the championship.
Yeah, Joe's one of them drivers. I've noticed there's been a serious progression from the start of practice yesterday to this morning. Like, just before we finished up practice, he was killing that line. And look at this for initiation, Mike. Max, sorry, I called you Mike, so I didn't expect Mike to be beside me. He is pushing right that whole round. Absolutely. This is a lovely line from Joe. The confidence in him, you'd swear he's been in BDC the whole time. Look at that, not a bit of break at all. Lovely transition, just a bit shallow. That's the first mistake he made, and I probably jinxed him. Out wide for the finish, out to the wall, bumper to the wall. That's exactly what we want to see. That's a good run for a guy who's just turned up to BDC.
That was such a clean run. There's that tiny little
just
mistake
one little
there
error, and like, we get picky here because we have to. Kieran and the guys in the tower are going to get picky, so we got to get picky as well.
Yeah, and I mean, shout out to all these drivers. So much skill, so much talent, but when you get to this level, it is those tiny little mistakes or differences that really settle the scores on these ones.
A simple little decision is the difference between staying and going home.
75, maybe
75 is not a bad run at all.
He
needs a bit shallow off one clip, you know. It wasn't that bad. Don't worry, you'll get it. You're not a judge yet. I'm very good at this. I know it.
So he's sitting in third position, and up next, Andrea Fabri. So Andrea is the 3 times Maltese Drift Championship. He's come over here to have a crack at BDC and put on a show for the UK fans in this Mark IV Supra. So this is the E-Power Supra. There, his big sponsor who funded him coming over to put on a show for you all.
As you see Andrea come down, lovely initiation, out wide. Oh, is he gone a small bit deep? He holds it through 3, gets it back around to clip 4. Lovely run so far from Andrea. Small handbrake dab just to settle the car, fills out zone, maybe just dropping one wheel down there, Mike. This is going to keep happening all day. And he pushes out wide all the way over.
He just lights those tyres up as he comes down and across the line. There was a nice run there from Andrea, opening the door to let some of that smoke back out of the car as he crosses the line.
Can someone just drop a name tag over to the commentary table that says Mac, not Mike on it, please, so I can just stick it on my partner here beside me?
Get there.
Yeah, I'll get there. It's my first time, okay? So as we await Andrea's first score, it's a 72, which is not bad. That's grand. That's good for your first run.
That's going to leave him in 4th position. Hopefully we're going to be able to see him build on top of that for his second run when we get there. But up next, we have got Ryan Miller. So Ryan is he got his shot last year from taking part in Foundation. Unfortunately, he had a little bit of issues with the car, couldn't get to round 1, but he's here now in the R33 Skyline, sitting on the start line, waiting to get going there. He is self-funded by himself at Infamous Inc. with some help from Crisp Tuning. He is going to send it now for his first run. Nice initiation, finds it out to clip 2, staying wide through 3. He's going to keep pushing himself back into the inner at 4, looking good. Through 5 again, just comes away a little bit there. Is he going to get that transition? A little bit late. Not quite finding 7. Bringing it back.
Making it all the way out to the wall, brings it over the line. Yeah, I think what happened down in that decel zone is it sounded like maybe he just missed the gear on a downshift coming down the hill, and she kind of wobbled a small bit, but he did very good to recover it. Like, just brilliant to get back online. Well done to Ryan.
So 65 hurts his score a little bit, but it should be enough.
Look, they're all nervous. They do the one run and they're like, oh, this is what I've been doing for the last 3 days. Now, next up is a lad that has a bit of a story. It's the young Irishman, Ben Rogers.
Ben Rogers.
Ben was building a whopper RB in his put into his S14, and unfortunately things went wrong on the dyno. The car isn't able to make it to Driftland. So what's he do? He borrows Ross Barr's 325 compact missile car, and he's on a perfect line all weekend.
For what this car lacks in power, Ben has just made up for with some very, very precise line driving and a nice
Look
entry
at
there.
that! Perfect on that outside line by Ben. Coming away lovely now for the inside clip as he holds all momentum. Mac, he can't break down there. He isn't able to slow this car down. He has to keep his foot to that floor the whole way around. This is a phenomenal line from Ben. Out to the A-line, doing exactly like the judges asked. Pushing it wide, gets clips A and brings it up to the wall.
Just by far the most technical run that we've seen so far today. Just so precise. And Ben again this weekend, he knew he had the odds against him with it, and he said, I'm coming in there, I want to qualify high.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen.
Yeah, so that's just a lesson for anyone out there. Never give up. If your car breaks, just borrow an underpowered one and drive it better.
They were just borrowing various different cars, and other cars were breaking, and that's it. He's got a 79.
79 for a little 325 compact.
I think that's just, again, it's that impact deduction that Kieran said we could see at the end of the run. There we are, Andrew Malloy.
Andrew Malloy, another Irishman over. Andrew, believe it or not, his first time ever driving on semi-slicks was yesterday.
And
he loves them.
This car
is a weapon.
Beautiful.
It's like his 3rd day out. He's only getting used to it, but there's a lot of potential in the car and a lot of potential in Andrew. He's a serious driver. But look at this line. Absolutely beautiful down the hill. Small little dab keeps him on the track. Oh, just about. I'm not sure what happened there now, Mac. He kind of just wobbled a small bit coming out of that last clip, but as you see, he's putting foot to floor, smoking Driftland over, getting up to the wall and doing the best he can. His points are going to suffer for that bottom section, but that's not bad for like your 4th day ever driving this car and your 2nd day ever on semi-slicks.
That's it, yeah. He
credit to Andrew, in my opinion.
Tiny little bit of nerves there, but that's it. Andrew, great run, beautiful car. So fantastic to have him back here again. Only 2nd ever round of BDC.
2nd ever. And here's another man in another new car. Now this thing is an absolute weapon. You should need a separate license to drive this shock, and a drift license doesn't count. It's Will Gibbs in his new PS13. The spec of this car, I'm not even getting into it. If you're in Driftland, go look at this car in the paddock. It is beautiful, and wait till you see it go. Will's still just getting through some teething issues the last couple of days, getting used to the car. But by yesterday evening, the last session, he was flying, Mike.
Yeah, let's see what he can do here, Mike, as he comes down. He initiates, he does miss 2 there, but it looks like he's going to push back out to 3 again. Dialing through 4 at the inner clip, and he's going to use a little bit of angling to slow there. Keeping it pinned as he comes through, lines himself up, makes the move away at 6, transitions back through 7, a little bit shallow on the B line, but he's going to push it back out again, finding his way out to the wall. Wow,
what a run. The forward bite in that car is just ridiculous. Once he puts foot to floor, it just takes off. The cameraman could barely keep up with it there, Mac.
Yeah, that car has just got all the toys, all the bells, all the whistles, and I think when we come into battles, we are going to see Will come to life.
Well, Will scores a 75 on his first run, which puts him into 4th position currently. So he can definitely improve on that, and he definitely wants to, but lap by lap, he's getting stronger in that car.
Absolutely, I think he's going to be one to watch today. Now, Mike, on the line, we have another Irish youngster, Clark Hatton. Just
this kid.
13
this
years old.
kid.
13 years old, and he's already been drifting for like 5 years.
I don't know where, like. I only started drifting when I was like 21. I never had this option of drifting at 13.
So yeah, the E82 BMW, sponsored by Link ECU, Strong Flex UK, Kansai Wheels, Abbey Cars 1 and 4-Star Pizza. Look at this FPV shot, Mike.
We got a drone. We got a 13-year-old in a Beamer.
Up in the air. Let's see what Clark can do. Misses there on the initiation, but he pushes back out again, smoking up the tyres. He's bringing it back down the hill again into the D-cell at number 5. He's got it lit up.
Clark is doing so well here because they were having some mechanical issues where yesterday he was in his practice day compact. He wasn't even in this car because he was getting a clutch change and that, but them issues seem to be finished. Hand out the window. He's happy with that. Drifltand, make some noise. He's only 13 years of age. Come on.
You've got to love these youngsters getting out in the cars, putting on a show for people. And I mean, Clark and Andy, his dad, such a lovely family to have around here.
Such nice people.
Such nice people.
There's big potential for that kid in this sport.
Let's see what the judges make of this one, Mike. I mean,
there's, as you say, they started to run clip 1 and 2, bit shy, got clip 1, missed clip 2, so there is a bit to tidy up for the second half, but it'll be a score on the board. That's all they wanted, because at round 1 they did not any clutch issues with the car, and he kept stalling on the run up. You know, T-side, it's a fast run up, so unfortunately he didn't get to do much. But today he's put a 76 on the board. It puts him in 4th position currently. I know it's early days, we still have a lot of drivers to go, but that's not a bad start.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think they should be very, very happy with that result. So up next on the line is Michael Bennett, sponsored by Sandhaven Motorsport, Mojo Graphics, Zen Bathrooms and Interiors. This 2JZ powered E46, another serious build, and Michael enters coming through 2, finds his way out to number 3, back on the inner 4. Looked like he was a little bit wide
there. He didn't really get out to it, but he's recouped down the bottom. He's got it back on line. Oh no, Mac, he's just dropped the wheel there and missing clip 7 completely with that snappy transition. That's unfortunate for Michael. Maybe the nerves just getting the better of him.
Just caught him out a little bit in there. Now this is one of the first times he's going to have had the chance to actually drive this car that they have been rebuilding for over a full year.
Yeah.
Just they made all the upgrades there, and he's just still finding his feet with it. 49.
It's 11th position for now, but we do expect him to drop down the order.
He's a score on the board, and next time we're going to see him hopefully improve on that.
Yeah. So next up, it's Corey Mannett. Corey's 180 SX is lovely. I really like the look of this car. I think it's just, even on track, it looks amazing. What do you think?
Yeah, Corey's, I mean, the car's great. He's a lovely guy. He made his way up to BDC through our Battle Royale series last year where, you know, he proved himself to be a very entertaining driver. They put a 1UZ into the car for this season, and he's really been trying to get to grips with that V8 power.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh, lovely initiation from Corey. A little bit shy. I think he got the C-line in clip 2. Back out wide. Can he get it tucked in for clip 4? He can, Matt. This is a phenomenal run from Corey so far. Little bit shallow. Kieran wanted him on the wide line there, but he does get the clip. Snappy transition all the way out wide. Will he come away early? Yes, he does. Corey was obviously awake and listening briefing this morning, because that's exactly what the judges asked.
That's it. And again, we're going to see where some of these local drivers, or at least the Scottish drivers, you know, who are here, they know this track inside out. So Kieran shook them up a little bit with some of the changes with 1 and 2, moving 6 so that they're actually coming away a little bit earlier. But they're quick to adapt, Mike. They know it. They know this track inside and out.
And Corey scores a 77.33 on his first run, which puts him in 4th position currently. Yeah, Kieran is like, he's an evil genius, he is. And he said every time we come to Drifltand, the Scottish have an advantage because they know this place like the back of their hand. But what he's done with 1 to 2, okay, putting clip 2 in that position has threw so many people. I've seen local drivers, I'm not going to name names, say, no, that track's undrivable because they couldn't get it because they can't do a lap of Drifltand. And that's what we want to see. It's a fresh, clean play for everyone. It's a new track. Eric Ladder is going for a big initiation here. Misses clip 1. Can he keep it out of the gravel? He does, just on that wide line. Slowing it down very early, coming through 4, which puts him very shallow for the bottom section, Mac, as he's coming through 5.
Yeah, Eric's there. He lines it up a little bit late, making the transition through, just skirting it onto 7 a little bit, finding it back out. Now Eric brings it across the line, getting to
and he hits
takes
the
the
wall.
edge off the spoiler. Eric, showman.
Yeah, showman.
Nothing but a showman.
No,
just
he loves
so
putting on a show.
Entertaining, and you know, someone who in the tower, they see him coming.
Yeah, 100%. He's driving the longest car in the grid. So Eric scores a 54.67 on his first run, which puts him in 12th position.
Yeah, and up next on the line is Josh Malone. So Josh from Sheffield in the IS200 with a 1UZ engine, sponsored by Form 7 Performance, Clark Customs, Slide Motorsport and Advanced Paint Solutions. Josh, fairly low power car.
Yep.
Not a ton of power, but another very, very precise driver who's very, very comfortable out here, and we know that he can do it.
That's one thing I've noticed over here in the UK from coming over with the drifting. Everyone's so polite and nice until they get in the car, and that's when they become like evil villains. And Josh is one of them people. You'll talk to him, he's a lovely person, but he is such an aggressive chase driver. Like, he's well able to put it on door, and as you say, with a little bit lower power than the rest of the grid, Mac.
Yeah, I mean, Josh is just very, very, very keen for it, so let's see what he can do. He's coming in Oh, he's just a little bit shallow on his initiation there, a little shallow on 2, but he finds it back out for 3 as he's going to send it for clip number 4, back down the hill, onto the inside for 5.
He just about holds it, has to get on the handbrake to keep it on track, but he does. The score has dropped a small bit for that, but Josh is doing anything to try and get this car back on some sort of a qualifying line. He does by clip 8, brings it out to the wall. Nerves.
Yeah.
That's, you can see it. You can always see it in the first runs because Josh has just been smashing run after run after run all morning. So I think the nerves maybe got the better of him there.
Yeah, that's it. 68.33 dropping in, so that's going to put him in 9th position and give him a lot of room for improvement on the next run.
Next up is this kid, right? We seen him for the first time at Foundation back in October in Teesside. That was the first time we commentated together. Who thought to be a second? Mitch Gibbons is unbelievable. How his brain thinks is like he's about 30, but he's only like, wow, he is loaded up with a big entry there. Now that's a flick, Matt, perfect on the A-line. Mitch is smoking Drifltand out of it, pushing really well. All the training this kid has been doing, it's paying off. You see him there, barely any braking, taking it lovely all the way through 6, transition back to 7. Just one wheel, a small bit over it, maybe will deduct the score a small bit, but he gets it out to the wall either way. That kid needs to calm down to get more scores in his run.
That entry, 1 to 3, wow, he was on fire.
Absolutely brilliant. And as we've seen, a lot of drivers are opting to go for the straight line handbrake, playing it safe to get a score on the board. Mitch was like, nope, risk reward, and it works. And 89.33 puts him in first position.
That is sitting him on top of the grid for this weekend so far.
Definitely. Next up, we have Jack Bennett. So we see Michael Bennett, the father. Now we have the son. Both of them are students of PH Drift. They're learning down there with Yogi. I was watching yesterday, and Jack blew me away with his initiations. I'm hoping he does the same thing along the wall he was doing all weekend, because he was coming in hot. Look at this, little bit shallow on that B-line, but he gets out wide for clip 3, pulls away a small bit earlier than the judges would have liked, but he's back on now, coming into that decel zone. Small little dab of the front brakes just to steady up the car, keeping it wide, keeping that wheel on that white line, exactly where the judges want to see it. Lovely transition, push him wide. Will he bring it all the way to the wall? Come on, Jack, get it on that wall. It's what we want to see.
Yeah, and like you were saying, like some of those entries we've seen from Jack this weekend, so let's hope on his second run.
He gives us, yeah, definitely. If Jack Spotter's out there, and I know you're listening to us, just tell him to do what he's doing in qualifying for me, please.
And the 74, it's a good run, it's a safe run. Position. Yeah, he's getting that safe run, and we're going to see that big entry next time, I'm sure, Mike. So, Jack Coburn comes to the line, the E30 Touring, BMW V8 underneath the bonnet. He is sponsored by J. Coburn Kitchen Fitters, Bathroom Services and Blackworks Body Shop.
Jack has been killing it all the last 2 days. Like, he's one of the local boys, he's one of the strong favourites for today. He's pushing wide, not as aggressive initiation, he's straight-minded, which he wasn't really doing in practice, but not doing a bad job at all now. He's collecting the points. You see your left-hand corner, the judges' points are dropping a small bit because he was a little bit shallow there, just going through 6 and 7. Back on line now, dropping a wheel just over and taking it to the wall. It's not a bad run from Jack.
Yeah, it's just that entry when you...
We should stop saying they were doing good.
They miss that entry, and that leaves them off at 1, and that pulls the line away from 2 and 3 because it's just such a natural arc that brings them through to 4 for that inner clip, and that's what we saw. 73.67 for Jack there.
Not bad for your first run.
Yeah, I think the second half of that been reasonably clean's probably pulled him back up. Now, here we go, Mike.
This is it. This is not Stephen Fitzgerald, this is Nicky Davey in his new monstrous car. This car is a weapon. It's unbelievable. Like, I loved this car for so long, and when I didn't even realise Nicky got it till I got to Scotland. He is a new man in this car, so I'm really hoping he can pull it out here and go for top spot in qualifying.
Yeah, let's see what he can do. He's just a little bit shallow on
Look at the line, Mac. He's perfect. Out wide, taking it through that line, comes in, perfect timing. This is exactly what the judges want to see. As we see, just a small little let off the throttle, didn't touch any brakes, just to steady up the car. Now he's back, snappy transition, small bit shallow on the second last clip as he brings it out towards the wall. That's not a bad run at all for Nicky.
Yeah, he definitely, the entry was a little off, but then 2, 3, 4, it looked great. Couple of little tiny tweaks there in the second half, but it could be a good score.
Oh, it's like double the power of his last car. I'm sure he's still trying to tame that beast.
So 87.67, leaving him in 3rd place. So yeah, great run there by Nick Davey. And I mean, this is his first time driving the car this weekend. I think he's going to be one to watch in these battles. Paul Howell sits on the line. The E36 Touring. This is one of the first start development drift team cars. Paul in his second BDC event this weekend.
As we see Paul leave the line coming up, he's going to go for a little bit of a flick. He does, but it's like he half guessed it, Mac, which put him very shallow at clip 1, missing clip 2. I'm pretty sure he was C-line there for clip 3, but he's back on line now as he's coming down the hill. No brake, small little dab of the front brake. Sorry, I just seen it there in the corner of my eye, but he's very shallow, Mac, of all the clips. I think Paul was a bit nervous before qualifying, so hopefully this run maybe can shake them nerves off and he can go do what he does best.
Yeah, this is it. The team's had a lot of work on this car during the weekend. We've always a little bit of a flame there from the exhaust as he heads back down. But yeah, the team's been very busy keeping that car on the track this weekend. So 65 dropping in, leaving him in 15th position. Yeah,
a lot of work can still be done in that run, but if any man can do it, Paul can do it.
Yeah,
I believe in him.
Yeah, and their team is a great team.
Yeah.
They are such
a nice bunch. Yeah, 100%. So next up, it's another Irishman, Mike. Like, there's so many Irishmen here. Like
Phil Kenner in his camo bright pink E36.
Do you know this is Mike Walton's favourite livery?
I can believe it.
Yeah, he loves this one. As we see Philip leave the line, he's coming up. Bonnet looks like it's about to come up, Mac, but it doesn't. Small bit shallow initiation, not much angle, but he gets it dialed by clip 3, maybe just a little too late. We see Philip taking it down the hill, no brake, and pushing it all the way out, keeping them wheels on the track. And yeah, lovely snappy transition. The second half of this run is brilliant. If only he got the initiation right, this would be a high score, and I'm sure that you'd see the score deduct now down, because it wasn't really that much impact from the start.
Yeah, the impact just been such an important part of these runs. It's a very small percentage of the score itself, but it is, in a way, it's the difference between an average run and a really, really strong run. Egis Manelga, the 300ZX, the only one we still see in competition.
The lone survivor, that's what it is. It's it's very good to see, different, unique chassis on the grid this year. We see Agnes leave the line. Very colourful car. All the colours going on here now. This is, you see, he's the second driver to do that, Mac. He's second guessing, will I flick or come in straight, and he's actually messing up his initiation because he's trying to do both, but dials it back in by the second half of this run, coming into the first decel zone. No brake, just using lock to slow the car down. Very shallow coming out of that corner, gets it on the C line, pushing wide, doing the best he can to try and keep it, and he does get it over the line.
That's it. Egis, a very, very capable driver. We've seen him on the Pro 2 podium before. And yeah, we think he's always one to keep an eye on. I mean, that entry was ambitious.
Yep.
So I think next time,
pick one or the other, don't do both. That's my advice. And he's not the only driver that's done that. Spotters, tell your drivers that. Pick one or the other, don't do the both of them.
Everyone wants to do the big fancy entry. There's actually only a tiny deduction this time for using that little dab of the hydro. So I think people are just shaking up about what they want to do. Now.
So, next up, the nicest guy.
Always entertaining to watch.
Danny Maguire in the Fast R S15. Danny has been, he had a good start and he had a bad bit, and then he's back good again. The car's working, he's happy. Small bit shallow initiation, but he's going to definitely put a good score on the board here. Look at the speed of Danny as he comes through clip 4 and down the hill. Absolute monstrous car. Just listen to the sound of it, Mac. It sounds beautiful, it does.
Absolutely phenomenal in this new Fast R livery. Just look at this thing.
Very slick, that Fast R livery, yeah.
Stunning there.
Black and gold always go well. That's a very good run by Danny as well.
Yeah.
Very, very good run. Like, if we're going to get nitpicky here, a little bit shallow in clip 1 and 2. That's all.
So I think he did a good job. Danny at round 1 qualified second. We know he can do it. We know he can hold his own. So yeah, 77 dropping in, leaving him in 7th place. Harvey Moore sitting on the line, the Drift for You E36 LS3 under the bonnet. We've seen Burkov's use this car in the past. Now Harvey's the new pilot helping out here with the Drift for You team. His second ever BDC event, competed overseas last year in the NES Championship out in Latvia. And what's he going to be capable of here as he flies down towards clip 1? Little handbrake entry there as he comes through, keeping it pinned on that wide line, finds clip 3, looking good. Looks like he dropped a wheel there on the inside at clip 4, but through 5, keeping it pinned. Is he going to line it up? It comes away just about the right time, transitions back out to 7.
All the angle, using every bit of that lock kit to keep it and foot the floor to get over the line. He does a cracking job there. What a run by Harvey.
Yeah, I think over the weekend he is going to be one to watch. Sponsored by Moreland, CJP Automotive, DMS Automotive, and Lost Soul Tattoos.
So that's a 79.33 for Harvey, which puts him in 5th position. That's not a bad first score.
Yeah, oh, he should be very, very happy with that. That was a great run.
I love this car.
R34 Skyline.
No, not only the R34 Skyline. This one just looks so cool, sounds amazing. The driver is so nice. JJ is a legend, and he is flying this weekend.
Yeah, anyone in the pits should go check out their setup because there's a greenhouse on the front of their setup. So JJ coming in there. Oh, just a little shallow on 1. Makes his way back through 2 and 3. Is he going to get to 4? Looks like there might have been a wheel drop there on the inside, but 3.
He's just pushing all the way through 5 and 6, out to that wide line. Lovely, snappy transition, exactly like the judges asked. Getting out deep there, following all the way up through 7 and pushing the 8 in the wall. That's not a bad run from JJ. Finishing up maybe on B lines, Mac, not them A lines like we want to see.
Yeah, and that's the difference. So the A, B and C line, which has been introduced in the last couple of years, just really allows the judges just to define the difference between hitting a clipping point and then fully fulfilling a clipping point. There is a big distinction there, but a 76.67 for JJ, dropping him in at 9th place.
Here's a man that we both know very well, and he is... He's really, really, really doing anything he can to get the most out of that car. It's Josh Goodhall in a standard 350. This thing is gripped up within an inch of its life. Anymore, it would be a touring car. He's that much grip in it. And Josh is killing the runs out here this weekend. Lovely initiation, putting that 350 out wide. Foot to floor because he cannot lift. If he lifts, this car's going to try and straighten on him. It's that much grip in it. All the way down. Barely any slowing down in the decel zone. Small bit shallow of 6 coming out there. Transitions bit too early for 7, making the car work getting out there, but he's really pushing it. Not a bad run, little wall tag there for Josh as he comes over, but I think there's more in Josh.
Josh sponsored by Mac and Big's Workshop, Firefly Speed Shop, The Sweet Spot, BC Racing, and SK Visuals. So Josh 73.67.
Nice, it's not a bad run.
Nice score. That's it. You got to think that's a stock VQ in that car.
I have one, I know. On semi-slicks, which I wouldn't even attempt to put mine on. That's why I think he's mental.
Stu Egdahl sits on the line in what I would say is the best looking car in BDC right now, that Helix Auto.
And the happiest man in BDC. You can't walk by Stu without him putting a smile on your face. He's so contagious, he is.
Yeah, I mean, they have gone above and beyond with everything they've done this year. They brought the new partner on board. You know, they've done the full setup. Everything looks great, and he is keen to get some results. So he's sponsored by Helix Autosport, Paintech Refinishing, 360 Wraps, EP Racing, XDR Motors, 50 Motorsport, Turbo Smart, AET Turbos, Image B, and Powerflex bushers. So Stu's just...
He's got 1 or 2 sponsors already.
Yeah, just talking there with Colgate, just checking things over, make sure...
He's probably asking Colgate how's his day going. Do you know what I mean? He's very interested in everyone else.
Just conversing out there, you know, just making sure everyone's happy before he sends it down here for his first run.
So we await the signal from the tower. Once the signal gets to the start line, Colgate gives the signal, cars go skidding. That's the way it works.
There we go. Colgate gives the thumbs up, and he sends Stu off the line. Full throttle down in that 2JZS14 as he heads towards the wall, loads it up, and there we go. We see him initiate nicely onto 2, looks nice and wide there at 3, brings it back. Oh, he's dropped a wheel on the inside at 4, and the C line down at 5, but he's going to bring it through. Can he line up for a nice transition here? He does, and yep, he's got it there for 7, and he heads back down towards the wall. Are we going to see him? Yeah, we are.
That's not a bad run from Stu. 1 or 2 little mistakes. I'm pretty sure he just cut out clip 6 completely at the bottom there. He was that shallow coming away from 5, but 1 or 2 little things to tidy up for his next run. No better man than Stu.
There we go, yeah, 73 dropping in, that's 17th position. I think we're starting to see quite a lot of these scores start to group up together.
Yeah, because we're working in reverse championship order, so like the later guys are the ones who finished higher at the previous round, and the first few guys are the guys maybe that didn't attend or didn't have a successful start to the season.
Just going to get more and more exciting as this goes along.
Now, this car is beautiful. I love Sam Nolan's car. Previously owned by the godfather of Irish drifting, Mr. Paul Conlon. Paul loves when I give him a shout out because he's a legend. Good man, Paul. And Sam is driving it like a man possessed this weekend. What an initiation. Look at the smoke that comes out of this S15. It's a whopper of a car. Barely any lift the whole way through the bottom section. Getting them 6-7 perfect. Snaps back. Can he keep it on track? He does, Mac. That is a lovely transition from Sam. Getting the back out, pushing towards the wall. Not a bad run.
Yeah, fantastic, and Sam every round just comes alive in that car, and as we've seen for the last couple of years, he's just building on it, building that confidence, getting that car made his own, and yeah, that's been fantastic. He's sponsored by Nolan Transport and Modern Tyres. 77.33, leaving him in 7th place.
Not bad.
Nice.
That's not bad for your first run.
That's a good place for him to be at in the upper half of the grid that we've seen so far. Next up is Josh Payne.
This guy literally should have been like an action hero or something like that. It's like the best name ever. Josh Payne. Starring Josh Payne.
The 4.4 litre BMW V8 sitting under the bonnet of this E36. He fires it in.
Yes, on the wall!
That is what we want to see. He's coming through, finds it nicely through, back on the inside, keeping it tidy on the A-line, down through. He's not lifting. He is in there, making it back through. We're going to see the transition.
Lovely transition by Josh. Not getting all the way out to the A-line, but getting the B-line. The judges are liking this one. If you see the top left, he's still in the high 80s. Small bit of deduction now coming. That'll be your impact, and we'll see will he finish up. But that was what an initiation. You know what? That is exactly what I want to see every car do every time.
I am just happy for Josh. Last year, obviously the engine let go on the dyno just ahead of the season. An 85.33 there, that's fantastic. So yeah, they've just had so many teething issues with that build, and it's great to see him out there doing what he does best.
Next up,
the Drift Smurf.
It's our official Drift Smurf. Our resident Drift Smurf.
Official, the only one.
He comes up to me in the paddock. He's like, Mike, I've made a change to the car. I've got new headlight blanks, and my first question were they blue? And he said, of course they are. Look how cool they look, Mac. Matt Holder absolutely throwing it in, trying to get as wide as he can in that little E36 compact. But the size of the wheels in that car just look wrong, Mac.
Yeah,
not lifting whatsoever for the bottom section. He is killing it on the second half of this run because he has to. A little bit early in his transition. Come on, Smurf, you can do it. It's Smurf-tastic.
That's it, the 1UZ turbo underneath that, just giving him the power to light up the Zestino tyres as he comes back through. Matt Holder, sponsored by Wilfab Motorsport, Helix Autosport and Prestige Construction Services. A 63.67, leaving him in 26th. He's down at the bottom.
It's the first half of that run. It's Kieran has said 1, 2, 3. Most important. If you're messing that up, it's messing up your score.
And here's a man you're not going to miss out on the track, Mike. Billy Murray.
I can't see him. Where is he? Billy Murray has the brightest touring ever, but it looks so cool. Another local boy here, throwing it in on the wall. A little bit shy of 2, but getting it back out for 3. Putting foot to floor. Listen to him screaming as he's coming down the hill, Mac. Billy is not a sniff of handbrake. He's like, I'm a local boy, I know what I'm doing here. Throw it in. Absolutely whopper second half of this run. Taking it out wide, exactly like the judges want. Out wide to the edge of the track and up to the wall. That's not a bad run from the brightest car in the grid.
Yeah, fantastic. Billy is sponsored by Blackworks Body Shop, Peregrine Performance, JCR Recovery, Hugo Shed Removal and GT Motor Engineering. That run earned him a 62.33, and that is going to leave him in 27th position.
Same as Smurf, back to the first half, 1, 2 and 3. If you're messing up and have to do a correction there, it's big, heavy deductions. What a car.
Here's your boy.
It's my boy, it's Max Fleckney. Hi Max. I'm Max's biggest fan, he's my biggest fan. We're fanboys for each other. But he is coming down in this beautiful K70 with an LS3 in it, putting foot to floor. Listen to the sound. The big 18-inch wheels on this car just look wrong in my opinion, but Max is making it work, carrying lovely speed down into the bottom section, putting it wide right on that edge of the track line. Smashing transition. This is a beautiful run, Max is going to be happy with this one.
So yeah, Max didn't think his car was fast enough last round, went up to a 17-inch wheel from a 16, so this time round they chopped a bit more out, 265/18s on there, and he was flying.
There you have it. An 81 for his first score puts him in 6th position. It's not a bad start for Max. He's going to be happy with that. This is your pick of the day.
Yeah, Craig.
You've been saying this all weekend.
Top qualifying at round 1, a local driver. They've done a ton of work to this car. 700 brake horsepower, 1UZ engine for Craig McLeod now under the bonnet of this.
He's flying that Scottish flag proud. He's a local boy. We call him Crazy Craig because he gives us some fantastic moments. Look at that initiation. Using a weight transfer, getting it out wide, putting foot to floor around the first corner. As he comes down the hill now, you can see he's slowly dialing on angle to scrub speed. Beautiful bottom section for Craig. This is a whopper of a run. He is going to be... I jinxed though. I'm sorry, Craig. Don't tell him I said that, please. Just messing up the transition. Gets it back out to the wall, but will that section hurt his score? I think it will. He just cut that clip out completely, Mac.
Missing that clip is going to hurt that score, but apart from that, fantastic run from Craig McLeod. And yeah, he's hungry for it this year, so the 80.67 that he's got going to leave him in 7th.
Turns out we don't know what we're talking about because the judges do. They've seen a different run than us.
That's why we're in here,
Yeah,
Mike.
That is why we're in here. We're only mere commentators, and I'm going to say that a lot over the next 2 days.
So Mark Chapman, 3rd place finish at round 1. This E30 touring, you know, he's got it dialed in. He's looked strong during practice today.
He's confident walking around. Like, just from chatting to Mark, he is actually confident in his ability and the car's ability. The car's working, he's happy, and I'm excited to see what he's going to do today. He's going to go for the flick, just really get it out as wide as he wants, putting one wheel over. Does he drop it into the stones? He does. Gets it back going just at clip 3. Stables up for 4. He's going to have to hit the brakes to try and just get it back on some sort of a line for the bottom section. He does the snappy transition, but maybe it's just a little too late as we see the score dropping heavy on the left-hand side. The second half of the run wasn't bad, Mac, but not the start that Mark would have wanted.
Yeah, definitely following on from last round. I think Mark would have wanted more from himself from that. But you know what? He's got that second run to get that fixed up and get it in. He's got a 61 for that. He's got points on the board. That's 31st position. He's
61 is 31st position at the moment. Oh, that's mental. Right. I always do this to Mike Walton, so I'm doing it to you straight away. Can you name this driver?
Diarmid Canavan.
Oh, you were so close.
So close.
I'm not going to lie to everyone. We've been rehearsing this for the last day and a half, and he flopped when the pressure was on. He got the first name wrong and messed up the second. It is Mr. Diarmid Canavan. It's Mr. All the Pops and Bangs. Absolutely now, screaming this PS13 around.
After round 1, the pro qualifying with this car, I cannot believe they've got it back here again.
Yeah, Diarmid took flight in this car and kept it on 4 wheels in the first round, but lovely initiation, putting foot to floor, listen to the bangs, and listen out for the clutch kicks if you're in attendance, because he just does it spontaneously to entertain the crowd. That's the thing I can get from it. Diarmid carrying a lot of speed down into that bottom section. Lovely angle he's coming through there with, snappy transition back, he's putting foot to floor, listen, bang, 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 that's all it does, just bangs, and it sounds amazing.
The noise of that.
I love it. It's one of them cars that came out with Quinn M Sport, and it has this Quinn M Sport sound. That's all I can describe it as. That they all just sound very, very similar.
A 75.33, 16th position, looking like he's going to be in the show.
That's not a bad run at all. And last, for our first half run, it's our round 1 winner.
Pro 2 Championship leader, as we sit now, Chrissy Nayland, another local driver. What are we going to see? The E92 2JZ leaving the line as he goes flying down. Whoa! He loads it up. Big flick.
Messed it up
doesn't
completely.
pay off. Missing number 2. Finds number 3. Where's he going to be for number 4? Drops a wheel on the inside. Sending it back down through the D-cell, unfortunately there. Just that entry was huge, but he's just not quite kept it together. Back on for the clip, and he looks like he's tidied it up a little bit in this last section, but... yeah.
I think Christy just got a bit excited there. He's coming in, he's like, I'm a local. I got to come in hard.
He said, I am going to make people pay attention to this entry.
And he was like,
and they did.
He just flicked that little bit too early, in my opinion. But look, it's a 64.67. He does have a score on the board. It's 29th position for now. Wow, his second run is going to be crazy.
And with this is where it counts now, Mike. Second runs.
This is it. Them nerves should be gone by now. It's back to the start. We're back to Miles Moore. Miles scored an 86 on his first run. Mr. Consistent, I'm going to call him. His line driving has just been phenomenal this weekend.
4th position. He is right up there. Are we going to see him put in that 90-point run or above now?
that famous 100 run that just thinks, oh my God, on the wall by Miles. The compact is so small and he touched the boot lid off it. This is a lovely run, so much aggression. If you look at them judges' scores, they're barely coming down. He's in the high 90s now at the moment as he puts foot to floor, proving that this is his local track and he knows it like the back of his hand. Oh, Miles just getting the wrong drop in 3 wheels. The judges' score takes a heavy deduction, Mac. Unfortunate that simple mistake maybe cost him the top spot on the podium.
That was so close, Mike. The entry, that initiation, that was just beautiful as he brought it there. So it looks like that 71.67 on the second run, meaning his better score stays as the first run with the 86. But that's good. He is right
up there. And we're excited to see what he's going to do in battles this evening.
That's it. Matt Smith sits back on the line again. So Matt, always an entertaining driver to watch, and he is going to be flying down towards clip 1 now in his S54 M3. Oh, nice. Keeps it out to 2, pinned it down through 3, a little bit shallow there, maybe back through the inside at 4.
As you see, he has to jump on the handbrake there just to keep the car on track. It is a diesel zone, so it won't be a big deduction. Does a lovely job on the transition, pushing wide all the way out, keeping that back wheel on the line and out to the wall. What a run by Matt. Matt scored a 68 in his first run, currently in 26 possession. I think
looking like we're seeing some improvement on that there from that entry, I would imagine.
75.67 puts him in 15th position, and him and his team are going to be really happy with that.
Yeah, fantastic to have Matt back in the championship again. Jack Mawhinney, another man who is still getting used to this monstrous car they're after building. He's got an 89 on his first run. He's in second position, and he's going to go harder. I know for a fact, Mac. So we see Jack leave the line coming down. He's drifting up the straight. Lovely initiation out wide. Putting that back wheel on the line. Foot to floor. This is a beautiful run by Jack. Can he hold the speed? He does. Throws on huge angle to keep it in. Keeps it in between the white lines. Snappy transition out to that A line. The judges are going to like this one. Look at the score in the top corner before they add their impact points. He's on. Whoa, I think this is it. I'm not saying it. I'm not jinxing it. I like Jack. No, we're friends. I mean,
I'm not going to jinx it, but that should be
some run. Let's see. He's got an 89 to beat,
which is a brilliant run for your first day out in your new car. Well, your new fresh engine setup in your car.
A 92.67, putting him in the first place position, is Jack Mawhinney.
Absolutely brilliant. Who's up next? Come on, let's keep this momentum going.
Here we go. It's Marcus. He had a 0. He had the little spin on the way in. It is all down for him now. He needs to get this LS3 powered Z4 across the line.
Such a cool car. I absolutely love this car. As we see Marcus leave the line, just say yes, he got a 0 in his first run. There's all to do in the second run. What initiation, but he's gone very deep. He dropped the wheel and no, he's just snapped back. He got pulled 2 on the inside, but that wall at the start, I was like, he just went from 0 to hero.
He really wanted to send it there and put on a show for everybody watching. Marcus, he's going to be a 0 for this run, but he's still burning off these tyres and just there. Let's clap it out for Marcus for everyone here in the venue.
I'm sure we're going to see him back at the next round, stronger than ever. So yeah, that'll be a 0 unfortunately for Marcus.
Double 0. That is going to be the end of Marcus's weekend, but thanks for coming in, and we've loved seeing that car back on the grid again.
That's my favourite car, like. That is my favourite car. It's just so different and so cool.
Such a unique
Who's up next? Oh, we're back to Joe Smith.
Yeah, Joe Smith, another guy trying out here in BDC from this Drift League feeder series where the drivers prove themselves. They're hungry. They're battling some BDC drivers in there, and they're earning that spot. So Joe Smith coming through S13. I mean, he caught us off guard in this first run.
100%. But I think like Joe has been permanently on the track for the last 3 days, and he's just consistently getting better. So I'm expecting him to go higher than the 75 he got in his first run. Still coming in with that straight line, get on the B line, getting wide. Oh, just dropping one wheel out there. Gets it back, didn't get dragged into the stones. Putting one wheel on the curve on the inside clip of 4. A little bit shallow coming down. From the start, George has got this a little bit wrong. Now he's doing well to get it back on line for the last transition. Pushing foot to floor. Out wide. Can he bring it to the wall? He does. We love wall runs. I want a t-shirt saying we love wall runs, man.
the thing about this is we get the double wall run.
Yeah.
You get it on the initiation, and we get it on the finish line.
Yeah.
And that just means we see sparks fly quite literally.
Yeah. Oh, we see spoilers fly as well.
So 75 on the second run.
Next up,
Andrea Fabry, Mark IV Supra. Is that a Supra?
it is a Supra. 72 in his first run. You see coming in straight line, good speed, putting foot to floor, a little bit shallow on two, but he's not doing a bad job this time at all. We see him coming down. You can't even see him, there's that much smoke. Look at the smoke coming out the back of this Mark IV Supra. Lovely line in the bottom section. Snappy transition too early. Misses out on clip 6. Pushing for 7 and out to the wall. Not a bad finish. You can see the 2 clips he missed there though.
Yeah.
The judges' score dropped dramatically in them moments. So
That's it. They can deduct, depending on how much you miss. Kieran was saying it's at least 10 points per clip that you missed, and if you miss it by a long way, that can be a heavier penalty, and I think that's what we've just seen there with Andrea.
So Andrea gets a 55 on his second run, not enough to improve, so he sits in 24th position.
This is it. Ryan Miller, the R33 Skyline, RB25 underneath the bonnet. He is going to be sending it down towards the wall. Let's see what he can do.
Nice initiation from Ryan, keeping on B-lines, getting it out wide enough for clip 3 as he starts to come away towards the inside section. On foot to floor going down the hill. Little dab of the handbrake just to settle the car. It's a big car, Mackie. He needs to settle it. Taking the bottom section, perfect. Transitioning too early. I've seen a few guys doing this. Like, they're cutting out that clip completely, and then once they miss a clip, the score dramatically is dropping.
Yeah,
you need to tick them boxes. That's what the judges want.
With clip 6 been moved forwards, that so many people are pushing too wide and too far, that's messing up the transition, and then that's putting them off so that they're missing clip 7.
It's that evil Kieran Hines. Like, he does these little changes that make a big deal. Next up is another one of your boys,
Ross Ogilvie. SDC champion, knows this track like the back of his hand. His first run scored him a 65. No, sorry, that's the wrong one.
Ross didn't make his first run, I'm just been told in the rear, so we see him. He didn't take his first run, so all to play for 1-1. Ross coming down very fast. How cool does that E36 look, by the way? I love red cars. Beautiful line. All the way through 1, 2 and 3. He's putting foot to floor. He's trying to show everyone that, hey, this is my track and I can do it in one run. Oh, maybe the mechanical gremlins coming into play in the bottom section. Flicks it back, gets out lovely and wide. He's taking that A line all the way through, working his way for the wall. Come on, Ross, give us what we want. And he does. I love wall runs.
You do love wall runs. So yeah, let's see what that score is going to drop in there for Ross. That's a 63.33, leaving him in 31st position. His heart will be in his mouth now for the remainder of this.
It's not even 32nd, but 31st is still nervous.
Ben Rogers is back on the line in his little borrowed E46 compact, 330 under the bonnet. This is probably the lowest powered car we're going to see on the grid today, but we have just seen an incredibly technical run from him once.
As we see Ben do the flick, getting out wide as he can. And then first section, keep foot to floor. You can hear the poor little engine in the BMW screaming. He's like, I still wonder how he's smoking Zestinos in a 325 compact, in my opinion. But Ben, a well-capable driver for his age and experience, doing a brilliant job to get it out there. Maybe not as good as his first run, but still a good run for what he's got. He's brought a banana to a gunfight, let's be honest.
For what he's got and for what he's doing, like you've said, cannot lift, has to go fully committed 100% of the time to be able to get that car around this track.
And doing a credit job. He gets a 71.33, so that leaves him in 9th position from his first score. Next up, another Irishman, Andrew Malloy.
Andrew Malloy gone from the 350Z to the S13. 2JZ underneath the bonnet, making about 500 brake horsepower this car, and like you said, first time driving on semi-slicks this weekend. Let's see what he can do.
Fourth time driving the car today, first competition, everything. Andrew is just feeling it out and getting used to it, which you have to do. As you see, he comes in, straight line handbrake, gets out lovely and wide, Andrew does. Absolute beautiful first section as he comes down inside the hill, nailing the inside clip. Small little dab there, not much, just to settle the car before the diesel zone, keeping that back wheel lovely on the outer line. all the way out. He nails the clip. Mac, this is a beautiful run from Andrew. Maybe getting rid of that 350 was the best thing he ever did.
Yeah, massive improvement there for that second run. Just looks so much more clean, so much more precise.
He got a 61.67 on his first run. I'm expecting this to be a massive improvement.
Yeah.
And it is!
82.
It's an 82 for Andrew Malloy. Puts him in 6th position. His second time ever on semi-slicks, Mac.
Just proving to be a serious competitor.
It just shows
weekend.
there's a well-capable driver in that car.
Yeah, Will Gibbs is back on the line in this absolute
rocket ship. Rocket ship. That's what
car.
it is.
We want to see this thing go flying down here into this initiation at clip 1.
So Will gets a 75 in his first run, has him in 20th position. There is room for improvement, and I'm sure he wants to do it. He's going for that top spot. Bit shallow on initiation. Is he out over the line? Possibly dropping one wheel there, but he gets it back in for clip 4 on the inside. Look at the smoke, Mac. We can barely see this car going down the hill. Absolute beautiful scenes in that bottom section. That was like a poster you'd see in Japan. A lovely S13 clouding the place out of it. Whopper of a run from Will the second half, pushing it out to the wall. Lap by lap, he's getting used to this car. They're figuring out the little gremlins. You know, they've worked on a few things. They've changed setup here and there. He is getting this show.
Yeah, 3 years.
He's still only 21 as well. Yeah. He's still a young driver.
He's still a youngster.
Just with 13-year-olds, he seems old. That's the thing on the grid.
Spent 3 years building that car, and this is its debut. This is the moment where, you know, they want to test it and see what it's capable of.
So Will does not improve. He gets a 73.67, so he will stay in 20th position. Hopefully we see that car back in the battles later on, Mike.
Oh yeah, cannot wait to see that.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Clark Hatton, 15th position with a 76 on the board. He's going to look to be building on that now for the second run as he sends the E82 off the line. The car running a 1UZ underneath the bonnet. Let's see what he can do as he handbrakes it in there. Straight line, misses clip 2, but finds his way back out to 3. Dropping a wheel at clip 4 on the inside. He comes down into the D-cell at number 5. Looks like he's keeping it pinned there. Through 6 and back on the transition. A little bit shallow, missing 7.
He's still on a good C line. That's nearly all the way consistent around. He brings out the wall. He does the work. He's only 13 years of age, Matt. Give him a break, will you? So Clark scores a 76.
A nice run, but not going to build upon what he did on run number 1.
No, but after the day they had yesterday, when you're driving a 325 compact, your own car's getting a clutch, you'll be happy to sit in 15th position. Who's next?
Michael Bennett.
Oh, surely there's a father-son rivalry between him and Jack.
Oh,
surely they're like,
there is. They are.
They
are. Jack is winning right now.
And if Yogi refereeing it in the middle.
Yeah.
Just keep that in mind as well. So as we see Michael leave the line, knowing I have to beat my younger son, this is it. He throws it in a little bit shallow, but gets it out wide for clip 2. Pushing all the way around. We see him. Nobody coming through clip 4 on that inside clip. Taking it down the wheel, small dab of the handbrake just to settle the car. Oh, he's gone 3 wheels off there in that bottom section, Mac. That's going to hurt his score. Heavy.
The same thing as on run 1, unfortunately, where through the first section of the course he looked pretty decent, but then it was that wheel drop and that messed him up for the transition and the last couple of clipping points.
Which is unfortunate. So he got a 49 on his first run. Sorry, I thought he got 49 the second run. I was going to say, wow, we got the exact same.
A 43.33. Unfortunately, the mistake a little bit worse there on that second one.
So that will leave him in 36th position, and unfortunately will end his weekend there.
Corey pulls back to the line again.
Corey Mannett in this beautiful one, ESX.
Sponsored by Rolco Powder Coat and GSD, Fab Weld Limited, Sheen Fab, Option Fail Drifting and ST Tyres.
So we see Corey coming in with that straight line handbrake, putting the back bumper along the wall. Lovely, getting perfectly out on that wide line as you see him starting to come away for the inside zone now. Doing exactly like the judges asked him this morning in the driver's briefing. Keeping it pinned all the way around the bottom section. Transition, did he go too early? Has to dab the handbrake to make it out to get that C line, but he does, Mac. Dropping one wheel coming up to the wall and up to the wall for the finish. Not a bad run by Corey, but I don't think it was as good as his first one.
No, I'd have to agree with you there, man. Just a few little hiccups around there that just separated the 2 runs. But I mean, Corey, fantastic driver, and there we go, 11th position.
So yeah, 77 will keep him in 11th position. Moving on, we got Arik. I always mess up Arik's surname, and he laughs and thinks it's funny.
Arik Ladniak, I believe.
This is why you were good here, because Mike Walton just says why he thinks it is, and that's it. So we see Arik Ladniak leaving the wall in this monstrous horror. I love a sword. They're just so big. They're such a big, just long car. What a flick! Eric there, he threw a 360 into the first corner and he whipped that hard. Doing a good job to keep it on track, putting foot to floor and smoking Drifltand out of it as he comes down the hill. No lift whatsoever for the decel zone. Small bit on the left foot brakes to try and get him out to that second last clip as he puts foot to floor. Look at the angle he's carrying, man.
That is it.
That is crazy angle.
That is why they call him Angle Eric.
Angle Eric. Let's show off. Get a sticker med and put that in the car. That snap angle at the initiation was just crazy.
That was one of the wildest entries that we have seen so far. Eric sponsored by AR Car Servicing and M&M Engineering.
So Eric gets a 54 in his first run. He's currently in 35th position. He gets a 76 on his second run, and now he's in 14th position.
He is going to be thrilled with that result.
That means he's coming in harder in the battles. That's all I know.
Such an entertaining driver to watch.
Next up, we've got Josh Moore.
Josh
Malone, sorry.
So many Joshes
So
in
many
BDC
Joshes,
right now.
yeah. And they all have a black car, believe it or not, if you think about it. Josh Malone getting a 68.33 in the first run, currently in 28. Tags the wall, but it straightens him, maybe hitting a little bit too hard. He does a good job to keep it out of gravel and keep it on line to try and get a score on the board. But he messed up clip 1 and 2 completely, Mac. Steadies the car up on the bottom section.
And he fires it back across for the transition, getting in nicely on the B-line, pulls it back down, and he heads off towards the wall, tackling both of the last clipping points. A nice ending to the run, but I think that wall tap that just threw him off the line at the start is going to hurt.
He just hit a little bit harder than it straightened the car, and it just put him away from clip 2 completely. So, yeah, Josh gets a 57 on his second run, so he will stay in 27th position with a 68.
Mitch Gibbons.
The Wonder Kid.
The Wonder Kid.
The Wonder Kid. Mark my words. Big things come from this kid.
So Mitch Gibbons, sponsored by Drift Shop, 96 Degrees, Blackworks Body Shop. And Mitch, we've seen him at Foundation do it. Round 1, unfortunately, some gremlins with the car.
Yeah.
Gearbox issues. Now they've got this thing running beautifully. Just been over to IDC.
Yeah.
But what are we going to see him do here on his second qualifying run?
I'm expecting big, and so is Mitch. Look at this flick. Oh my God, he absolutely mitts it off the wall. That's just the aggression I love, but it can cost so much. Unfortunate for him, he's going to have to stick with his 89. He's in second position. I don't think he did too much damage. It's only cosmetic.
Blackworks Body Shop, his sponsors, they are going to get
covered.
that thing looking great again for the next round,
come
Mike.
on, make some noise for Mitch Gibbons. He went all in on that one.
That was full send, all the commitment.
I commend you.
Yeah, Mitch, wow.
You're my hero. So, who's up next, Mac?
Up next
Jack
is
Bennett.
Jack Bennett. So another youngster we've seen with some great entries.
Yeah.
Are we going to see that huge snap angle that we've seen during some of the practice?
Surely his spotter's in his ear saying, like, right, Mitch came in a little bit too hard there and didn't make it around the first corner from his wall run, so don't do the same.
Yeah, I'm sure Yogi's on the radio to him right now saying, go big, but not quite.
Look, we're getting a replay of it.
Yeah, the Lucas Oil replay just showing us that massive impact with the rear of the car. But, you know, these things, they're all fiberglass on tubes. So
that'll come back out in battles looking like it did going into that run. That's just the way drift cars are. So next up is Jack Bennett, sitting in 22nd position with a 74. Can he improve? I think he can. I've seen him do better.
Let's
He's
go
straight line. Yes, Jack! Out to the wall. Exactly what he's been doing all weekend. Putting foot to floor. This kid can drive, man.
Yeah, brilliant there. Just dropping a little bit of a wheel on the inside at 4, but he is flying back through again as he lines it up to come away back through. Oh, and he nails that final
section. That transition was lovely. It caught Mac out for words there. What a finish drive for that young lad. I'd say the only thing that maybe could reflect in the score is he dropped a wheel or two in the bottom section coming out of clip 5. I'm getting nitpicky here. I have to. It's my job.
But that's
my boss
it.
is sitting beside me. I have to do it.
That entry was fantastic. So Jack, another rising youngster
on his
in
run
the sport.
Yeah, it's not bad. He will currently stay in 22nd.
Jack Coburn is on the line. The E30 Touring, another one of Driftland's local drivers. He didn't get it how he wanted on run 1, which is leaving him in 24th position. So what are we going to see?
Luckily he was lining up for a big flick. He doesn't. He straight line handbrakes, gets it out wide. Lovely through 1, 2, 3. This is what we've been seeing off Jack all weekend as he comes down the hill, no lift. Just Sean, it's Drifltand. I know it like the back of my hand. I'm a local. Putting foot to floor as he comes around on that A line. Look at that. Hugging the white line around the last corner. Can he touch the wall to finish off a perfect run? Yes, he can. I like that one.
That was beautiful. That was just a masterclass through that second section of the course there from Jack Coburn. He's got the 73.67 on the board, so he's in 24th position now. Let's see what the judges are going to make out of that. An 83, that is going to move him up to 6th place. Fantastic.
He's going to be delighted with that.
Yeah, Jack's going to be very happy, and that's going to set him up nicely as we go into the battles.
Yep. Next up, we've got Nick Davey.
Nick Davey, RB25 S15.
Monster. He's currently sitting in 3rd position with an 87.67, so I know Nick, and he is absolutely loving this moment right now. And all he can do is improve from here. Comes in, lovely initiation, gets out wide on that white line again, Mac. Absolutely putting foot to floor. Smoking Drifltand out as he comes down the hill. Small little bit of handbrake to keep him on the track there. Maybe his score might drop for that, but it's not going to drop by much. Lovely transition out wide on the A-line. Look at this run from Nicky Davey. Absolutely smashing it in this new car.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Just this.
Is Stephen Bishard sure he wanted to sell that car? Because that seems like a crazy car. Like, why would you not?
I think he's going to be on the phone trying to get it back.
Yeah, that's it. Hey, I was alone.
So there we go. The second score dropping in. It's an 80. Not quite matching his first, but it leaves him in 3rd position.
He's going to be so happy with that.
Here we go. Paul Howell is back on the line again. So Paul, sponsored by First Start Drift Developments, Wire Monkey, Violent D Graphics, MB Automotive, and CW Signs and Graphics.
As we see Paul leave the line, he's coming out of straight over the straight line handbrake. Small bit there, he puts him on the B line through 1, 2. Little bit shallow, maybe C line for 3. Gets a foot on the curb on the inside, but he's keeping it. It's like he's fighting this car down the hill there, Mac. Dabbing the handbrake, trying to keep it on some form of a line to keep the judges happy. Lovely transition this time, pushing it out wide. All the way, bring it out to the wall. That long BMW is going to run the wall, and it does.
Yeah, that's a big car. And again, we're just seeing some flames out of the exhaust as that thing crosses the line.
This car went on fire yesterday morning on the first run it did.
Yeah.
And the guys thought that was it over, and it turned out it was just a pipe. And luckily, the legends of KD Custom had the exact pipe they needed right there beside our merch tent. Run into the car, and he was back out 10 minutes later.
Yeah, everyone in this venue, get over to Neil's tent at KD Customs and see what he has got for
I
you.
actually hate going to Neil's tent because my shopping list is just getting longer and longer and longer, and Neil's taking a mental note of all of what I want.
Phil Kenner, another car that you will not miss with his wild pink camo livery on there. Let's see what Phil could do as he sends it back down towards the wall.
Nice initiation by Phil, maybe not as deep on 2, but he gets it through the clip, putting foot to floor. This car sounds like it's struggling a small bit this weekend, whether it's down on power, just struggling fighting Phil, but he's doing a good job to try and keep it on track there. Bit of a late transition, not as snappy as the judges would have wanted, but he's putting it where they want. Okay, they mightn't be fast, but it's a good line drive.
Yeah, absolutely. For what he didn't have an impact, he was getting some of those clipping zones, and that's what's going to give him the score.
So as we await Philip's second score, it's an improvement. It's a 72.67, which puts him in 26th position. He's going to be really happy with that.
Yeah, he's looking confident with it, and let's see what can happen as we progress. So up next, Egis Manelga, the 300 ZX, sponsored by Pulse Motorsport. The car's running some nitrous in there. This thing is fast, and let's see what he can do.
Yeah, as we see, he's coming in with that straight line on the wall, out wide. Oh, he's dropping the wheel, spraying the stones. Takes the bumper off, gets it back on track, but yeah, that wheel drop will be a big deduction as we see him putting foot to floor in the bottom section, a little bit wide through there. But he's doing well to get it back online for the second part of this run. Absolutely beautiful looking car this is. It looks so different. That's why I can't stop staring at it. It's like it's a 300 ZX. Like you don't. When you see them on the road, you get excited about them. It's a unicorn. You're right.
It's a unicorn.
It's a unicorn.
No one's driving these things.
And this guy's throwing it up against the wall twice in a lap.
Yeah, he was not afraid. He was fully committed. A 65.67 dropping him in. So his first score going to leave him in 19th position.
Next up, it is Mr. Fast R, Mr. Danny Maguire.
Danny Maguire.
Danny scored a 77 on his first run, so we know he wants to improve that. He's top qualifying before. He's well capable, and he knows that himself.
Yeah, this car is a serious piece of machinery, so he's in there a little bit shallow on one.
As well.
But yeah, he holds it together through 3. Can he make it down there to 4? It looks tidy as he comes through into the D cell at 5. He is keeping it pinned. He's making it back through. Will he line it up here for the transition as he moves back across the track again, hitting the B line? He's got to dial it back in as he pushes it out again towards the wall.
Not a bad run by Danny at all. I think it's going to be an improvement in the first run.
I think that's definitely going to be an improvement. So Danny's sponsored by Fastar, IGT, Air Filters, KT Detailing and Extreme Clutch.
As we await Danny's second score. And 80.33 moves him up to 10th position. That
was a nice run from Danny, and he is going to be happy with that. That's going to be putting him in the show for some battles.
Harvey Moore up next.
Harvey Moore, LS3 E36.
This car coming all the way from Latvia to be here and drove by a man from the UK.
Yeah.
That confused me into that.
International team, local driver. So yeah, Harvey Moore is just a little bit on the inside there at clip 4 as he makes his way through the D-cell at 5. Tiny dab of the handbrake, but he's balancing the car, bringing it back through again, lines up that transition, a little bit shallow, but he's pulling it back out again and pushes back to the wall.
Yeah, 1 or 2 mistakes in places probably have hurt his score.
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to be an improvement in his first run.
Yeah, he looked a little bit cleaner on the first run, so I think this one's
currently 11th position. Yeah,
66.67, so that will leave him in 11th place.
Next up is JJ Stevens. Beautiful car, like. If this was part of the show car, you'd believe it, like. As we see JJ leave the line, he got a 76.67 on his first run, currently in 16th position. Coming in, messing up for the initiation, maybe just a little bit too early on the handbrake drag. He's fighting to get it back on line, but he does not.
Yeah, that's unfortunately there. He's missing 5 as he comes through the bottom section of the course. Just perhaps not quite getting this one dialed in. Finding his way back out to the clipping point there again.
Yeah, you can just see from the start, that run just went all wrong. He did well to recuperate in the second one, but the judge's score was dropping dramatically as he was going around, and it just came back to initiation.
JJ sponsored by Precision Garage Services, MGT Motorsport, Firefly Speed Shop, and Living the Drift.
So he gets a 68 on the second run, which will leave him in 15th position.
Some of these guys going bigger on these second runs, but not always paying off.
Yeah, it's a risk-reward game.
Here we go, Josh Goodall in the Mac and Big Workshop 350Z, this VQ under the bonnet.
Is that your workshop, by the way?
No, different Mac.
I was wondering who Big was. I was like, I thought I was your friend. Anyways, we see Josh leaving the line, coming in on the weight transfer. No, he kind of half did it flick there, doing a good job keeping on that wide line. Absolute foot to floor, because we previously said he doesn't have the luxury of lifting. Doing a good job using all the line girls to slow that down, coming into that bottom section. Comes through, snappy transition, gets out to the C line at clip 7, fighting all the way up to A. Clutch kick, and one more clutch kick to take it home.
That was a nice run there from Josh. There's a couple of small mistakes, but again, he cannot lift, has to fight this car.
He can't even lift to let the car wash back out wider or that, so he's really fighting, but that was a brilliant one. And an 82.33 puts Josh into 7th position. That, I'm sure he's delighted with that.
Can we get a round of applause for Josh Goodall in this venue, please? Stu Egdal, big love here.
The happiest man. Sending some love. We're sending love back to you, Stu.
That visor drop down, and he means business as he sends this Helix Autosport S14 back down towards the wall. He's fully committed. He's a little bit tentative there on entry, but he pushes it back out for 3. Dials it in for 4. He's got that inner clip. What's he going to do down here in the D-cell section, Mike?
He's just putting foot to floor, using the angle to slow the car down. Lovely second half by Stu, but one wheel over there maybe might drop his score a bit, but Mac, he's going to be heavily deducted. He was nearly straight after the start of the scoring line because he dragged it in on the handbrake a bit too much.
Yeah, unfortunately that
mistiming
entry just not paying off for him there.
Mistiming.
49, so that's it. Yeah, the 73. He's down in 25th position. Is it going to be enough, Mike?
I think so, but I'm not. Don't hold me to that, Stu. I don't want to fall out with you over this.
Sam Nolan, he is back again. The Nolan Transport S15
monster. Absolute monster of a car. 77.33 in his first run, puts him in 15. Huge initiation from Sam, going lovely and early. Foot to floor. Listen to the screams of this S15 coming down the hill. Smoking the place out, but we can barely see the car. Little dab of the front brakes there just to settle it. Coming into 6. Snappy transition all the way out wide on that A-line. Exactly like our judges want to see. Going foot to floor. This is a brilliant run from Sam.
I think
it might be an improvement, but I've messed up the last few drivers. I said that for.
I am going to say those runs were incredibly similar.
Incredibly similar?
I think they were incredibly similar.
Dude, it's your first day on the job. Don't be getting that cocky.
That is my call on that.
Wow, I won't make predictions for the top 4.
Watch me regret this in just a second. But
and it's 100. I know, no scores up yet.
75.
75. So
pretty close. 14th position for Sam there.
There's a lot of aggression in that one, though. I was like, a lot of aggression. Next up is a movie star and our favourite action hero, Josh Payne.
Josh Payne, Major Payne.
Major Payne. If he was a wrestler, that'd be a cool name, Major Payne. Josh, you should get into wrestling, man. Anyways, I'm not talking about wrestling, we're talking about drifting today. Josh leaves the line. Big initiation, running the back of that E36 along the wall, breaks the bumper, keeps it pink. What a start for this run. The floor coming down the hill. Listen to that E36 screaming. Absolutely nailing this line so far, Mac. Doing a brilliant job. Yes, he gets the C line. His score is still high enough with the judges. Will he tag the wall on the way out? He is very close to smoke ruined my shot. I can't tell if he did or didn't.
Just those last couple of clipping points just shallowing off a little bit in that one. I think that might hurt that score.
Yeah, because he made it from a saloon to a compact on the first clip. That's why.
There's just not enough of the back of the car left.
His previous runs, it would have been out there.
A 66 for that second run, but he is in 5th position. He was just going all out for that one.
Next up, it is Matt Holder, a resident drift smart here at the BDC.
Yeah, Matt Holder, sponsored by Wilfab Motorsport, Helix Autosport, Prestige Construction Services. This car is an animal. Yeah. Some serious upgrades for the new season, and Matt Holder is not going to be messing about as he sends it in.
Nice initiation.
Yeah, he's on that outer line as he comes through to 3. Bringing it back, looks tidy through 4. It's a nicely dropped down into the D-cell there. He's keeping it pinned. Is he going to make it back through again? Comes away from 6 pretty early.
Lovely transition by Smurf.
Yeah, he is just getting it back out there at the end, and I think that, wow, yeah, that's going to be a good score.
I do think that's going to be an improvement on his first run. So he got a 63.67. He is sitting in that spot. He's in 32nd position. You don't want to be there. You want to get so far ahead of that. The judges maybe just deliberating this one a small bit. Do you think he dyes his hair like every day, or is it like once a week, or just around? Oh, an 80 for Smurf puts him in 12. We may talk about his hair later on, Matt, because we got to go back to qualifying.
Yeah, I've heard many stories about hotel room pillows at events from Matt Holder leaving his signature blue trail behind.
So next up we've got Bill Murray. Billy scored a 62.33 in his first run. He's in 34th position. He's outside that battle bracket. He's in all to do. What a wall run. Takes the bumper off. The boot lid open. Something goes flying out. He doesn't care, man. He's putting foot to the floor and not giving it an inch. Absolutely smashing this run as we see him on that white line, following the 8th line. Why are you laughing? You're making me laugh.
Billy Murray deploying that active aero and still holding together the run as he brings it back across the line. Some of these second runs, these lads are going so big on these entries and just tagging that wall, going all out.
He absolutely annihilated the bumper, and then the boot lid just threw up like a massive spoiler.
It's an improvement, and I think that is down to that big entry.
Of course it is. Risk reward. That's what we want to see. It's why we're in Drifltand.
29th position with a 71.33 on the board.
Ready to go. Max is... He looks good enough after his first run. He scored an 81. He's in 9th position. He would like to get higher.
Oh, I feel like he's after that top spot. He's
been in Drifltand for 2 months, drifting every day. He'd want to be getting that top spot.
Max Fleckney, sponsored by A&F Motorsport, Auto Finesse, Fold Me Close Pizza, AJ Brickwork, Tucked Motorsport, and Must Weld Motorsport. And Billy's Speed Shop.
As we see our track marshals just removing Billy Murray's bumper from the track.
Picking up various bits of Billy Murray's car.
I think like a high-vis or something blew out the back of it as well.
His shopping, you know.
Yeah, that's what it looked like, a shopping bag or something. Oh, that's brilliant. But we see Max leaving the line. Absolutely. Listen to the screams coming out of that KE70 Corolla. Oh, just not getting as deep on initiation. He has to let off to get it back out wide. He does. Now he's coming down the hill. Back on that correct line. Oh, not as tidy as his first run, Mac, but he is doing the best he can. The little Corolla that could. Listen to the sound of it screaming. The big 18-inch wheels as he brings it out to the wall. The first half's going to hurt him there in that run.
Yeah, that's just going to take a little bit away from that. But Max, an absolute fan favourite here at the BDC. And this car, so special, so unique. We've both been out in that car before.
It's a weapon.
Wow, what an experience.
So as we wait, Matt, oh no, he gets a 72, so no improvement. He will stay in 9th position from his first score.
It's Craig McLeod flying this Scottish flag this weekend. He was my pick for top qualifier. We didn't see it on his first run with a few little mistakes there, leaving him in 10th position. Are we going to see him improve on that now?
I think so as well. I think Craig has a lot to prove. He took the flag in at the back. Obviously the downforce was wrecking up his run on the first one. You see him coming up straight line. Lovely wall run from Craig. Getting out deep. 1, 2, 3. Perfect on A-lines. Absolutely foot to floor. Listen to this S14 screaming. No lifting at all, using the lock to slow the car down. Nailing these clipping points, Mac. Absolutely perfect. Beeline there for 7 as he comes by the transition. Out wide, bring it out to the wall. Drifltand, make some noise for Craig McLeod. What a run.
Massive improvement from that first run. Craig, sponsored by MG Autotech, EK Blast and Powder Coating, Dynatune and SMT Motorsport. That score dropping in as an 85.67, leaving him in the 5th position.
So we're back to our top 3 of the last round. We have Mark Chapman.
Yeah, Mark Chapman representing the Mapped Motorsport team here in Drifltand this weekend. He is going to look to take back that trophy to Norfolk with him if he can.
He had a dream weekend at round 1, but he's sitting outside the top 32 with 1 run to do it, so all pressure on Matt. Not as deep as we want him to be. It just seems like the car maybe gripped up or something went wrong there in initiation. He has it back online now as he comes down the hill into clip 5. Absolutely swinging out the steering wheel to keep this E30 touring moving around the track. Pinpoint accuracy for the second half of the line, but is it enough, Mac, to get him in that top 32 bracket?
Yeah, that car just really fought him there on that initiation, but he did a great job of holding it together and filling that run. Let's see what the judges are going to make of it. 78.67. It's a big improvement on his first run.
He's in 15th position. He's in the bracket. That's it. He's happy now.
Diarmid Canavan.
No. Close. It's like what
I gave it a good go.
I gave it a go. It's Diarmid Canavan.
Diarmid Canavan.
Oh, that was like... Man, you from Ireland?
Part-time.
As we see Diarmid leave the line in this monstrous S13, running the wall perfectly. Absolute whopper of initiation. Gets brought down to clip 3, which you see a score reflecting in that. Putting foot to floor, listen to the amazing sound of this at PS13 as we see Diarmid a little bit shallow for the second half after the transition. I think he maybe frightened himself with that initiation. He thought he was going up the bank.
He just threw that thing in there, and unfortunately the rest of the run not living up to that. But what a showman. Let's make some noise for Diarmid.
No, Diarmid, you're close though, Diarmid.
Am I doing better than Mike or?
Oh no, you're equally as bad.
Okay.
Yeah. Michelle's the worst. She's not getting it at all. Right, so last up,
Pro 2 Championship leader Chrissy Nayland, a man who says he is notorious for the bad luck at Drifltand. He's in 34th position. We need to see something big from Chrissy here.
As we see him coming flying down, he's coming in hot. Beeline through 1, 2, 3. There's not a bad start to run. I think Chrissy just knows he's outside that bracket. He needs to get a score on the board. If we see using all the lock to slow down there, barely any braking, keeping it wide the whole way through the bottom section. C lines for the transition, and I think it's going to be an improvement, but he might just scrape inside this bracket.
He had his hand out the window, waving to his friends and family here at Drifltand as he crossed the line. Is it going to be enough to pull him in there? Chrissy Nayland, sponsored by NHP Motorsport, Nuts Off, HJS Garage Equipment, Spray and Bake, Alex Brown Motors, and Zestino Tyres.
So he scores a 75, which puts him in 26th position and will bring him into the battle bracket for later on. And there you have it.
That is going to be relief for Chrissy Nayland there. Can he keep this lead in this championship today? We are going to find out.
So, here we are, Mac. Who has qualified? Paul Howell just scraping in 32nd position. Billy Murray 31st. Andrea Fabry, I may get used to saying that one on the break, at 30th. Philip Kenna in 29th. Stu Egdale in 28th. Jack Bennett 27th. Chrissy Nayland 26th. Will Gibbs 25. The boys that just scraped. Now I have to wait for the bracket to change before I can read the rest.
So that'll be 24th Joe Smith, Diarmid Canavan in 23rd, 22nd Egis Manelga, 21st Matt Smith, 20th for young Clark Hatton, 19th Arek Ladniak, 18th JJ Stevens, 17th Corey Manette, 16th Sam Nolan, 15th for Mark Chapman, 14th for Ben Rogers, Harvey Moore in the 13th position, the Drift Smurf Matt Holder in number 12, Danny Maguire in 11th, Max Fleckney in 10th, Andrew Malloy coming in the top 10 in 9th position, Josh Goodall qualifying in 8th position, Jack Coburn at 7th, Josh Payne at 6th, Craig McLeod with a 5th position run, Miles Moore in 4th, Nick Davey with a brand new car in 3rd place, Mitch Gibbons in 2nd, and Jack Mawhinney topping qualifying with a monstrous 92.67. Woo! I'm out of breath, Mike.
That's not, you could get
some
there.
of those entries were wild.
Yeah, some of them runs were crazy now, and the most, let's be honest, qualifying is the boring part of drifting. Let's get to the door-on-door action. Door-on-doors and a big wall. What could possibly go wrong?
From what we have just seen, this is going to be one monstrous battle session.
Yeah, so as we go for a quick break before the battle section, for everyone in attendance, pro practice will be commencing shortly, and me and Mac shall be back for battle actions shortly. Talk to you soon.
Drifting can be the most demanding motorsport in the world. My name is June Lane. The high RPMs required to keep my tires spinning and rubber burning are brutal on engine oil. That's why Lucas Synthetic Oil Stabilizer was formulated for performance on the track and the highway. Lucas Synthetic Oil Stabilizer keeps my power on for split-second decisions, making every shift and turn count. When it comes to my engine and engine oil, I give it every advantage with Lucas Synthetic Oil Stabilizer.
Link ECU produce standalone engine management technology with a range of products that allow you to unleash the power of your engine. Acting as your car's brain, our ECUs control electronic fuel injection and ignition. A magnitude of sensor inputs and outputs ensure your engine exceeds your expectations. Built-in safety features guarantee engine protection, and data logs keep you informed on its performance. Smoke your tires and not your engine with a world-leading Link ECU.
Tarmac Sports.